Reid Hoffman, LinkedIn founder and PayPal alumni, said starting a company is like throwing yourself off a cliff and assembling an airplane on the way down. Well, after interviewing hundreds of successful entrepreneurs on the podcast How I Built This, author Guy Raz has discovered that entrepreneurship is far less dangerous than Hoffman makes it out to be. Entrepreneurs may be assembling a plane while free-falling, but most do it while wearing a reliable parachute. Sarah Blakely, founder of the women's clothing company Spanx, sold fax machines door-to-door for years. She knew that even if she took the leap and tried to build what seemed to be a crazy idea, she had good sales skills she could fall back on to pay the bills. In fact, even after Oprah recommended her product on national TV, she was still selling fax machines. Shark Tank star and Fubu founder Damon John was a waiter at Red Lobster when he started Fubu. Initially, he bootstrapped his entire operation, making his Fubu clothing line in his mom's living room on a sewing machine, and only taking outside money once he received thousands of orders and proved that people wanted his product. If you have marketable skills you can fall back on to find a job, and you don't take unnecessary debt to start a business, entrepreneurship isn't dangerous. But it can seem awfully scary if you don't have extensive business experience or domain expertise or a remarkable talent. But as you'll see in this video and as you read throughout Guy's book, all you really need to start a business is an open mind and an inexhaustible amount of curiosity and passion to solve problems, because business, after all, is just a series of problems. With enough curiosity and passion to solve problems, you can find the information you need to assemble your business plane before it hits the ground. But before you take the leap and start assembling, it's helpful to have a business assembly manual so you can assemble a plane that can take flight. First, build the vessel of your plane. That is, the product your customers will experience. Start designing your next product by focusing on the intersection between problems people have and problems you are passionate about solving. Unsuccessful entrepreneurs start with an idea they are passionate about, a cool restaurant or a new gaming app, and assume that they are solving a problem. They assume that people need another restaurant in their city or need another video game to stay entertained, but they're often wrong. Successful entrepreneurs start by finding a problem people are struggling with, and then find that they have the passion to solve it, usually because they're struggling with the same problem. A perfect example of this is Jen Rubio, founder of the luggage company Away. Jen didn't have any experience designing or selling suitcases. She led a social media team at the eyeglass company Warby Parker. But one day, while flying through Zurich, her bag broke and she had to sprint to her next flight while leaving a trail of underwear behind her. She decided in that moment she was going to buy the perfect bag and never suffer this embarrassment again. But when she got home and started researching travel bags, she couldn't find a reliable, affordable, great-looking travel bag. She called her friends, and they couldn't suggest any good options. The only options seemed to be big box store luggage that looked like everyone else's luggage, or super high-end luggage that cost more than a plane ticket. This was an opportunity, a real problem, and a real gap in the market. So her and her friend entertained the idea of building their own luggage. For the next few weeks, they went to every department store and luggage store in New York to compare all the luggage on the market, and then called dozens of factories that could produce suitcases and asked them a series of questions. Thanks to their insatiable curiosity, they went from knowing nothing about luggage to being luggage experts. When it came time to design their product, they asked nearly 800 people open-ended questions like, how do you pack, and what's your biggest pain point when you're traveling? In the book, Jen says, with some people we knew well, we would actually go over to their house and watch them pack, and that's how we figured out how to make our perfect suitcase. With enough passion to research, test, and iterate your product until it solves a problem better than anything else in the market, it's time to focus on assembling the wings of your business plane. The wings of your business plane are the two strategy components you need for your product to take flight: story and positioning. When you have a good story, people are eager to recommend your product to their friends and generate organic growth. And when you position yourself in a way that allows you to dominate a niche market, you can gain enough momentum that it becomes hard for your competition to catch you or kill you. A perfect example of this is RX bars. The founders of RX bars were sick of eating sugary protein bars with mystery ingredients, so they created a protein bar without unnecessary ingredients, or as they say, with no BS. RX bars became the first protein bar to put their ingredients on the front of the package in big bold letters: 3 egg whites, 2 dates, and 6 almonds. Just simple, wholesome ingredients. Their story resonated with their target market, paleo and CrossFit athletes, who wanted to know what they were putting into their bodies and value transparency. With a clear and compelling story, a no BS company that makes wholesome bars in their kitchen, their initial customers were eager to tell their friends and start a cycle of organic growth. RX bars started to grow without the fear of big protein bar manufacturers coming to crush them because they positioned their product in a non-threatening way. They sold directly to customers online and at obscure locations like CrossFit gyms. It wasn't until RX bars dominated the CrossFit scene and the paleo scene and burst into the mainstream that they were taken seriously. But by that time, they had enough market share and enough momentum to withstand any attack from the big protein bar manufacturers. The best 2 books on story and positioning are Start With Why and Blue Ocean Strategy, respectively. I'll include a link to my core message book videos for both of these in the description below. Now that you have a vessel and you have the wings attached to your vessel, you just need to install your jets and turn them on to get to cruising altitude. The burst of energy you get from the jets is the buzz you need to launch your product. Think of a product launch like a movie release. You want to garner enough attention and create enough hype so that you get a rush of customers opening week. But then you want your product or your movie to be so good that the people who see it recommend it to their friends, who then recommend it to their friends. Before Instagram founders Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger launched Instagram in the Apple Store, they invited 100 designers and journalists to try Instagram out. The journalists had platforms that could reach thousands of people, and the designers were active on forums like Dribbble. So if they liked Instagram, they could be the voice and the authority to help Instagram take flight. Kevin and Mike leveraged their network to reach out to journalists and designers, and were ignored by most. But some agreed to try their app. And those who tried the app loved it, and were eager to be the first to write about it. As you work your way up to your launch, reach out to people who have a modest following and can influence your target market. These might be bloggers on Medium, or YouTubers, or people on Instagram. If you can get enough early adopters to become evangelists for your product, you are well on your way to having a successful product. For an extra boost, it's helpful to launch your product in surround sound, a term coined by Tim Ferriss to explain the effect you want to have leading up to a product release. Surround sound is having your product appear in multiple places your target customer visits. This might include an ad on 2 podcasts your target market might listen to, and an ad on their Facebook feed, and in their Google searches. When they see your product everywhere, they become more open to trying it, and eventually sharing it with their friends. In the end, take the leap into entrepreneurship with a parachute, a job you can come back to, or a valuable set of skills you can use to get a job if things don't go according to plan. As you start to assemble your business plan, start by looking for a problem you are passionate about solving. Then research, test, and iterate your solution until it solves the problem you're trying to solve better than anything else on the market. Now position your product to dominate a niche market and avoid big competition. Then generate some buzz. If your product is great and your story is compelling, your product will naturally take off, and you'll catch your competitors by surprise. Soon you'll be flying in a plane of your own design and able to pause and look around and take in the beauty of what you and the people around you have created. That was the core message that I gathered from How I Built This by Guy Raz. If you want to forge your own path and work for yourself, this book is necessary reading. I highly recommend it. If you would like a 1-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from this book, just click the link below and I'd be happy to email it to you. If you already subscribe to the free Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox. If you like this video, please share it. And as always, thanks for watching and have yourself a productive week.